Hey everyone, today in this amazing tutorial we will be learning about how to create and animate 3D logo intro in After Effects. Let's take a look at what we are going to create. That looks super awesome. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more amazing tutorials like this. Without any further ado, let's begin. Open Photoshop, create a new document. Width is 1920, height is 1080, resolution 300. Click Create. Unlock this layer by clicking on this lock icon. Now import our Google stock photo that I downloaded it from the Google Images. By holding Shift and Alt, decrease its size. Place it little above the center like this. Now take the shape tool over here and make a shape like a search box. Remove the fill and use stroke. And size of the stroke is 1.50. Now create a search button like this. Change the fill color to light gray. And stroke to dark gray. Size is 2 pixels. Right-click on the search button layer and select Rasterize Layer. Take the Marquee tool here. To zoom in, hold the Alt and use the scroll button. Make a shape that covers the right side of the stroke like this. Click on this mask icon to mask it. Press Ctrl-I to invert the selection. Right-click on the mask layer and select the Apply Layer Mask. Do the same to left side of the button. Cover the stroke and click on the layer mask icon again. Press Ctrl-I and again apply the layer mask. Create a new layer. Take the brush tool here and increase the brush size, then decrease the brush hardness to 0%. Make sure the foreground color is light gray. Now brush the edges like this. Decrease the opacity to 40%. Now that looks really good. We will rename each layer. Double-click on the layer. I will name it as Search Button. And this layer is Search Box. This layer is Google. Shift-select the last two layers and press Ctrl-E to merge it. I will name this layer as BG. Now press Ctrl S to save this file. I will name this as Google Intro. We now finished the first half of the process. We can now start animating this intro. Let's jump into the After Effects. Go to File and click Import. Then select File. We will use our Photoshop file that we created. Select it and click Import. Make sure it's in the editable layer style and import kind is composition. Click OK. As you see, our Photoshop file imported with each of its own layers. Double-click on this composition. We now have our composition. It's time to animate. Take the time indicator to 1 second. Enable 3D option on all the 4 layers like this. Select the Google layer and press P to bring the position. Keyframe it and decrease the Z position until you can't see the Google name. Take the indicator to 15th frame and change the Z position back to 0. Place the indicator on 2nd frame and keyframe the position of the search box layer. Again decrease the Z position until you can't see the search box. Take the indicator to 18th frame and change the position to 0. Again place the indicator at 4th frame and press P on the search button layer to bring the position. Keyframe it and decrease the Z position again. Take the indicator to 20th frame and change it back to 0. Highlight all the keyframes and press F9 to ease it. Let's play it. That looks super good. As you see, we have no search text on the search button. To add it, right-click on the search button layer and select Pre-compose. I will leave it as the search button and click OK. Double-click on the pre-composed layer and zoom in. Take the text tool. I will use a font called Lato and the color is dark gray. Type in on the button as search. Place it in the center and make sure the anchor point is in the center. Now go to the main composition. Now we have the search text. Again take the text tool and type in on the search box as where to get the best logo intro. Place it on the left side and center of the box. As you see, our text is right there on the entire animation. We can start animating it now. Place the indicator at 20th frame and take the shape tool over here. Make sure that the text layer is selected. Make a shape above the text like this. We now have our mask created. Check the inverted box like this. We now can't see the text for now. Keyframe the mask path and take the indicator to 3 seconds. Then drag the mask to the right like this. Drag it until you can able to see all the text. Let's play it. That looks super good. As you see, our text is animating like it's being typed by a keyboard. You can increase the animation speed by dragging this keyframe to the left like this. Enable 3D option on this layer too. Now select all the layer and pre-compose it. I will name it as first half. Again enable 3D option on this pre-composed layer and hit this collapse icon. By enabling the collapse icon we now can able to animate the 3D layers that inside in the pre-compose. Now right click and create a new 20mm camera. Click OK. Select the camera layer and press P to bring the position. Create a new composition and the width is 1920, height is 1080 and 10-second duration. Click OK. We will now create the arrow key. Take the pen tool, make the head of the arrow like this. Now take the shape tool and make a shape like this. Select both the shapes and enable the stroke. The color is dark gray. And the size is 3 pixels. Again take the shape tool and this time we don't need any stroke. Hold Alt and click on the stroke to disable it. Now make a shape over both the shapes to hide the overlapped shape like this. We now created our arrow. Go to main composition. I will name this composition as arrow. Drag the arrow comp to the timeline like this, decrease its size. And press R to bring the rotation tool and rotate it like this. Place the arrow out of our screen. Take the indicator where our animation ends. Press P to bring the position and keyframe the position. Place the indicator on 3 seconds and drag the arrow to our search button like this. It will create keyframe automatically. Take the indicator to 3 second 2 frame and press S to bring the scale, then keyframe it. Place the indicator on next frame and decrease the size by 3%. This time take the indicator to 3 second 5 frame, then add blank keyframe by clicking here. Move the indicator to next frame, then change the size back to normal. Now we created that clicking arrow key effect. That looks good. To give more depth to the animation we will add some color to our search button. Place the indicator where our arrow keyframe starts. Double-click on the first half of pre-compose. Select the search button layer and type tint in the Effects and Preset panel. Drag the tint effect to our search button layer like this. Click on the top palette and change the color to sky blue. Select the second palette and change the color to light blue like this. Go to Tint Effect on the layer and keyframe the tint amount. Then change it to 0. Move the indicator to next keyframe and change it back to 100. Take the indicator to 3 second 5 frame and add a blank keyframe like this. Move to the next frame and change the amount back to 0. Go to main composition and play it. Now we created that clicking color effect on search button and it looks really good. Enable 3D option on our arrow layer. Take the indicator to where our animation ends. Change the view to 2 views horizontal. Now we can see the top and front our composition. This is the BG layer that inside of our pre-composed first half layer. This is our camera and its lens. Go to Project Panel and create a group. I will name this group as Images. Now import all the stock logos into our Images group, like this. And finally import our main logo where we want our camera to focus. Create a new white solid layer. I will name it as BG White. Drag it below all the layers. Enable 3D on this layer too. If you look closely you can see the X, Y and Z plane. This is our BG white layer. Now push the BG white layer in the Z space by holding Shift like this. Push it little further. Because our BG white layer is farther in the Z space its sizes became small. Don't worry, you won't lose any pixels. Press S to bring the scale on our BG layer and increase its size, till it can fix perfectly on our canvas like this. Push it again in the Z space and increase its size. If you zoom in on the camera you can see that there is an anchor point on the lenses. This anchor point is called point of interest. By holding Shift, drag this point of interest farther behind our BG white layer. By placing the point of interest behind our BG layer, now our camera can travel to that point in the Z space without any trouble. If I zoom in using the camera position, we can able to see behind our first BG layer. Now keyframe the position and point of interest. Take the indicator to 3 seconds 20 frame. Zoom in the camera using the position like this. Zoom in until you get behind the first background layer. If I hide this white BG layer you can see that there is no background because our camera is past the first BG layer. If you look closely you can see that our camera is behind the first background layer. Let's play it. That looks good but it's bit slow. Drag this keyframe to the left like this to increase its speed. Now that looks great. Unhide the white BG layer. Place the indicator at 7 seconds and drag our main logo into the timeline. Enable the 3D option on this layer too. This is our main logo. Push this logo into the Z space by holding Shift like this, and place it just few steps before our white BG layer. Now move the camera using the position until our main logo fully covers the canvas. Make sure that our camera focal length is on the same line as our main logo. Like this. We now animated the camera movement to our main logo. Place the indicator on 9 seconds and add a blank keyframe, so that our camera can focus for 2 seconds on our logo. Move the indicator to 10 seconds and drag the camera further behind our white BG layer. Like this. As you see, our camera is behind our white BG layer. We now animated our camera movement completely. Now we will import more logos and place it on the Z space to give the animation more depth. Drag a logo and place it behind our main logo. Enable 3D option on all the layers in this composition. Drag it into the Z space. You can decrease its size if you want. Place it on this side. Again, import another logo to our timeline and enable 3D option. Push it in the Z space farther than our first logo. Again, import another logo and decrease its size. Then enable the 3D option, push it farther in the Z space than the other two logos like this. Place it over here. Keep importing the logos and decrease its size and place it in the Z space farther and wider. I will place this logo here. Using the Y-plane, place it on the top or bottom of the canvas like this. I will place this over here just before our main logo. I will place this logo behind our main logo and on the top. Like this. Increase its size a little. I will place this YouTube logo right behind our main logo in the Z space like this. Let's play it and see the magic. That looks super awesome. We will add 2 more logos behind our main logo. Place it at the left top. Place this logo at the right bottom like this. Change the view to single since we finished adding logos. If you look closely, you can see that the logos in the background affecting the view of our main logo. To clear that, go to Camera and Camera option. Place the indicator at 6 seconds 24th frame. Keyframe the aperture here and move the indicator to 7 seconds. Increase the aperture to 500 pixels. You can see that our background logos are out of focus and our main logo is the one on focus. That's because this After Effects cameras are no different than any other regular cameras out there. Now take the indicator to 8 seconds 24th frame and add a blank keyframe to keep the focus for 2 seconds. Move the indicator to 9 seconds, then change the aperture to 10 pixels. Now let's play it and see the finished project. That looks amazing. You can increase the speed of the camera move in the Z space by dragging this keyframe to the left like this. And drag all the keyframes to 6 seconds like this. Play it again. That looks perfect. You can select any logo and press Ctrl D to duplicate it and place it wider and farther. Bring it to front. We finally at the end of our tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to comment in the comments section. I will reply to it as soon as I can. Hit the subscribe button for more amazing tutorials like this. Hit the like button if you like this tutorial. Until our next tutorial, stay happy. Thank you.